Your spirit is like a sensitive film of a camera, and in that film, you can impress a message of freedom, a complete freedom from panic attacks. And when you do that, that impression must externalize into your three-dimensional world. This is how you gain complete freedom from panic attacks. In fact, this is how you get everything that you want to experience in your life. If you're watching this video, you're a successful man, you have gained status, and you're just wondering why, instead of all the wealth, why, instead of gaining status, you have been afflicted with panic attacks. Because that happened to me as well. 4 years ago, I was training to become a doctor in Nepal, and I had a panic attack. I had a wonderful career ahead of me. I had status in my society, but still, I was not an exception to a bad mental health. Then I was forced to study about emotions, about the power of human mind, about consciousness, about religion, about true essence of religion, about spirituality. And what I discovered is social conditioning goes beyond just making sheep in our society. Because in alpha male industry or in manosphere industry, there's a big attack on social conditioning because it makes beta males, a lot of beta males in our society. But it goes beyond just that. In fact, social conditioning has conditioned each and every one of us to see, to perceive this universe as completely physical. We perceive our world as completely physical. And when you perceive our world as completely physical, there's a separation, there's a distance between two objects. That's how physical world can exist. There's a separation between this body of earthen and this table. And this is how physical universe operates. And not only is there going to be a separation between two physical objects, there is also going to be a separation between who you are right now and what you want to experience in the physical world, because you're going to have to spend a certain amount of time, certain amount of distance, certain amount of energy in order to achieve that desired experience. So when you want to earn money, when you want to gain status in your society, you're going to invest a lot of time, invest a lot of sweat, blood, just a lot of hard work. You're going to compete with other people. You're going to maybe bear and harbor some negative emotions like jealousy, even resentment. You're going to get betrayed by other people. Maybe you are going to betray some people. You're going to just be a very competitive, and you're going to try to hustle your way to success. And in doing such activities, you are going to accumulate a lot of negative emotions. You must understand that first. Of course, you're a smart person, you're going to understand that. And what you also should realize is your body keeps score. Your body can be likened to your subconscious mind. Your body never forgets the emotion that is it has felt. Your body has accumulated every emotion that you have felt up until this moment. So while you have tried to achieve money, tried to achieve status in your society, all the negative emotions, your body remembers every one of them. It has stored every one of those emotions inside of it. And one day, your body decided to explode. Panic attack is a warning. Your body is saying, hey, do not store more negative emotions inside of me. Instead, resolve this issue. It's a warning sign from your body. Do not try to fight it. Understand that. Understand that how you have been viewing your world has been accumulating a lot of bad emotions in your body. So you need to open your eyes now. You need to decondition yourself from this social conditioning, from this mass propaganda. Now open your eyes and see the truth that this universe is completely immaterial. It is spiritual and mental. This has been scientifically proven. The reason why universe is spiritual is because there's only one thing in this entire existence, and that is one spirit. You can call it God, you can call it cosmic consciousness, you can call it source energy, you can call it quantum field. And that one spirit has manifested itself into everything that you can perceive in your physical reality. This body, this cloth, this table, everything. Beyond every material thing, there's a background of that one spirit. The reason why I say that universe is mental is because if you can write new programs in your subconscious mind, you're directly communicating with that one spirit, and you can become a magnet for what you want to experience. So, your subconscious mind has a power to directly communicate with that one spirit. And that one spirit, that source energy, can give you anything that you want because it is unlimited. It has infinite potential for every type of experience. Out of that spirit, everything can be created, can be thrown out into this physical reality. The second thing that you must understand is feeling is the secret of living the life of your dreams. If you have been conditioned to view this world as a completely physical universe and you have trained yourself to be a hustle bro, you have just tried to live this life in a very logical manner, then you have discarded emotions for a very long period of time. A lot of people in the alpha male industry say that emotions is only for females, but they do not understand that feeling is literally the secret of creating the life of your dreams. In fact, a Western spiritual leader named Neville Goddard in 20th century has written a whole book about this topic. Feeling is the secret is the name of the book. So what you want to do is you want to cultivate positive emotions in your body without any sort of validation from the external environment. Because right now, we all of us who are socially conditioned, are conditioned to only feel positive emotions after a positive experience has happened to us. But if you learn how to cultivate elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, before amazing experience actually happens to you in this physical reality, then you become a magnet for positive experience. Now you do not have to hustle. Now you do not have to bleed and sweat. You become a magnet. All the wonderful opportunities will start to find you. All the wonderful synchronicities will start to happen to you. So this is why do not underestimate spirit, because your spirit, whatever you impress in your spirit, if you impress a mental imagery where you have become a completely different person who is free from panic attacks, and you combine that mental imagery with feelings of joy, gratitude, and empowerment, then that spirit, your spirit, everyone's spirit, there's no such thing as your spirit, by the way. All of us share the same spirit. All of our center is the same source energy. So impress certain mental imagery and feelings in that spirit, and that spirit will give out the experience that you desire. You desire freedom from panic attacks. Now your job is to impress a mental imagery where you are already free from panic attacks and combine emotions of gratitude, joy, empowerment, and all the wonderful emotions, and you will become that person. It's a law. Now, these are the two things that you must realize. And out of these two principles, there are three simple meditative steps that I have distilled down from studying so many spiritual masters from the East, as well as spiritual leaders from the West, who specifically focus on the manifestation aspect of spirituality. And the first step of this three simple step meditation is yoga nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman have been calling Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol. But it is just Yoga Nidra, yogic sleep. What you're doing in yogic sleep is you're closing your eyes, you're relaxing your body, and you're rotating your awareness all over your body until your body achieves a state of sleepiness, but your mind is alert. When that happens, your brain will start to produce coherent, slow alpha waves and theta waves. Right now, you're watching me on a phone, tablet, or a computer, and your brain is producing beta waves because you need to focus on this physical information, physical reality. When your brain is under emotional stress, when you're having anxiety, panic attacks, your brain is producing high beta waves. That's not a time to create. That's a time to protect yourself, survive. That's a time where you're not going to achieve wonderful things. You're not going to be open to wonderful synchronicities and opportunities in your life. Now, your job in Yoga Nidra is to create wonderful alpha waves and theta waves, which help you to become creative in visualization. And all the visualization that you will perform through your conscious mind will go right into your subconscious mind when your brain is producing theta waves. So, I have a link in the description box down below on how to properly do Yoga Nidra. Check that out. After you do Yoga Nidra, you're in communication with the spirit now. That's a method of connecting with the spirit. Yoga Nidra is a method of you now becoming available to a spirit, to this cosmic consciousness, to this source energy, to quantum field. Now what you're going to do is visualize a scenario, an imaginal act where you're already free from panic attacks and you're already living your best life. If you currently cannot do certain things because you have been afflicted with panic attacks and anxiety, do all of those things in your imaginal act. Maybe see yourself in situations, in places that previously triggered your panic attacks, and see yourself with your chest out, with your breathing rate really relaxed. Measure your pulse rate in your imaginal act in that dangerous place and find your pulse rate to be just 70 beats per minute in your imaginal act. Imagine all of these things. Start to imagine that you have your friends and your family members or your girlfriend in that fearful environment and you're just cracking jokes with them. Start to hear your friends and family and your girlfriend say to you, "Oh my God, you're so peaceful and relaxed in such a short amount of time. You have completely changed. What's your secret?" Start to maybe say to your friends, family, your girlfriend, "Hey, you do not have to worry about me anymore. I do not want to go to I do not have to go to therapy sessions anymore. I don't take anxiety and depression pills anymore. I'm completely free because now I understand that there's a better way to heal myself." And you can even teach your people in your imaginal act on how to completely upgrade their mental health. What you need to do is provide all the sensory vividness to your imaginal act. Provide the sensation of seeing what you're going to see after you have become this upgraded version of yourself who is free from panic attacks. The things that you can hear, smell, taste, feel. So start to feel. Right now, maybe you are not dating someone. Start to date people in your imaginal act. Start to touch their hair, start to kiss them, start to smell their perfume, start to hear them compliment you. "Wow, you're so peaceful and so relaxed. How are you so calm under any circumstance?" Start to hear them say all of these wonderful things to you. Maybe you're avoiding coffee. Start to smell the aroma of coffee and say to yourself, "Wow, finally I can drink coffee again." Start to see yourself in this imaginal act that as soon as you wake up in the morning, you're no longer hearing racing thoughts in your brain. You're no longer hearing all this heart palpitation as soon as you wake up in the morning. Start to imagine that you no longer have dry sensation in your mouth because of anxiety and anticipation of another panic attacks. Start to imagine that as you go to bed at night, you're just looking at your watch and it's 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and it's now your bedtime, and you say to yourself, wow, I had an amazing day. I didn't suffer from any mental health issues. I had no panic attacks, no anxiety. I was so happy. I was so relaxed. I was so powerful. I was so peaceful. Everything in my day turned out to be wonderful. I am now free. Start to declare yourself in this imaginal act that you have become completely free from panic attacks. And what you must understand is your brain is so objective that it cannot distinguish between an imaginal act, which is provided with all the sensory vividness, and the experience that you have in this three-dimensional world. So your brain will start to create neural networks that reflect like all the imagined scenarios, actions, activities are actually happening to you in real time. Now, the third step is mental rehearsal of this imaginal act. When you mentally rehearse this imaginal act over and over and over again, the neural networks start to become hard and set. With enough mental rehearsal, your neural networks start to become permanent in your brain, and it is going to send a rush of chemicals down your body. These chemicals are going to create feelings. Those feelings that you are going to feel in your body because of these chemicals are going to be equivalent to whatever you have imagined. Your imagination signified that you have now become a free version of yourself with no longer panic attacks and whose life is wonderful in every aspect. So you're going to feel the equivalent emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, confidence, thankfulness, and all the wonderful positive emotions. And these emotions are going to breathe life into your imaginal act. Whatever you have imagined is like a electrical signal that you send to the cosmic consciousness, to the spirit. And these positive emotions that you feel in your body is like you sending a magnetic charge to that cosmic consciousness. Now, whatever you have imagined is going to be drawn towards you. You no longer have to do anything now. Just by imagining and feeling and embracing all the emotions of that imagination through mental rehearsal, you are going to change your life. This is how you gain complete freedom from panic attacks. Now, the thing that you must get really good at is becoming able to sustain your attention on the desired imaginal act. Because right now, your attention is going to get snatched away in a future worst case scenario. Oh my God, what if I have another panic attack and my life turns out to be this way in a very crappy manner? Wow, that person hurt me in the past. Your attention is either going to go in the past traumatic event or the future worst case scenario, because that is how you have created panic attacks for yourself. You have practiced imagining the worst case scenarios of your life and emotionally embraced all of them, or remembered the past traumatic events and keep embracing all of those emotions from that past imagination. And anxiety and panic attack have become a second nature. So just do the opposite by following these three simple steps: yoga nidra for relaxation, visualization of the wonderful things that is happening to you, and mental rehearsal of the visualization until you start to embrace emotions from it, positive elevated emotions from it. So start to really get good at becoming able to sustain your attention on the desired imaginal act. And for that, you need to show up every day, at least 2 times a day, as soon as you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed at night. Why? Because these 2 times are the windows where your brain is naturally trying to produce alpha waves and theta waves, because your your brain waves are naturally slow as soon as you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed at night. So these 2 times, your subconscious mind is naturally trying to receive every sort of mental impression. Now, Just do these 3 simple steps 2 times a day, and you're going to see a significant improvement in your mental health in a very short amount of time. In fact, if you land these mental impressions and feel the amazing feelings in your subconscious mind, you can actually be changed in one meditation. But it needs to land in the subconscious mind. And that's it. But in order to do that, in order to achieve that level of mastery over your attention, show up every day, do these 3 simple steps at least 3 times a day. Because even during the day, do this. Because this is what is stopping you from upgrading your life to the next level. You have become a typical hustle bro. You have gained money, you have gained status. Now all you have to do is learn this spiritual principle that everything is spirit. And once you impress wonderful things in the spirit, you can gain it. So do these 3 simple steps even as soon as you get free time during the day, because the more you do it, the more proficient you're going to get at it. And if you can sustain the elevated emotions for a long period of time, of course, anxiety and panic attacks cannot coexist with the emotion of gratitude and empowerment and confidence and power and joy. All the visualization that you will perform will materialize into existence, and that's just a bonus. Actually, freedom from panic attacks is going to come to you simply by you feeling the elevated emotions. You do not even need the visualization, the imaginal act to come to life, but still they are going to come to life because it's a law, it's a spiritual law. Whatever you imagine and embrace emotionally will come to life. So please do these 3 simple steps and decondition yourself from this idea that this universe is a physical one. No, it's not. You can use your subconscious mind, communicate with the spirit, feel all the amazing feelings, and create any wonderful circumstances in your life. You do not have to work and hustle and sweat and toil in order to get something. Simply close your eyes, make your inner experience of thoughts, mental imagery, feelings real, and you become a magnet for wonderful circumstances. This is how you change. If in your life you have someone who is currently facing with panic attacks and anxiety, send them this video and save them. And if you want to get a personalized coaching from me, one-to-one online coaching, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, my Telegram, my Viber, which are all linked in the description down below. I'll provide you one-to-one online coaching, and I will help you completely get rid of panic attacks. Remember, sky is the limit. Once you truly know how to relax, imagine correctly, and feel the emotions of your desired imaginal act correctly. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.